ladies, this is Dr. Alice Mary. I would love to show you how you can lose the weight that you want to lose in 2024. Now, I never want to focus on weight loss. I want to focus on optimizing your metabolic system. I want to focus on up-leveling your belief system. And I want to show you the 5 things that can interfere with you losing the weight that you know that you need to lose. So join me January 3 for my masterclass. I cannot wait.
So I'd like to answer some questions. Who is Dr. Alice and what does she bring to the table? Alice is a radiant, shiny woman. 15 years ago, she experienced a dire health situation herself and was able to bring herself back to living with passion and great health after nearly losing everything. Her physical health problems created even bigger problems, leading to her not wanting to be alive at all. She climbed what she calls the ladder of health and has become an embodiment of vitality. As you will discover, she is a powerhouse, a lighthouse for those in her care. I am so happy for you to have found her. She and I both believe that everything that happens occurs for our growth and for our pruning. Every challenge manifests for a reason. The fact that you are here is actually a great blessing, and with it comes the ultimate opportunity for you if you want to awaken to a new level of well-being or need support to achieve your health goals. If you have ever spent time with this magical natural doctor, you will agree that simply being with her when she teaches is healing, uplifting, and empowering. For over 25 years, Alice practiced an unusual style of very gentle chiropractic. This healing system focused on the innate intelligence, that is to say, the intelligence within us. Her work actually encourages self-organization, a subject I hope she will elaborate on in the next hour. She sometimes says that the box of chiropractic was too small for her, and although she is tiny in stature, you will realize that she is powerful beyond measure. Truly, that is her message. We are all capable of so much more than we think is possible. We are all powerful beyond measure. It is true that the challenges we face today globally are causing us to evolve. As we awaken to new levels of awareness, detoxify our lives and our bodies, we manifest better and better health. We are discovering that awareness is key. You can't unlearn what you will receive today. So the knowledge she imparts will be very helpful for you all, regardless of your different histories, diagnoses, and challenges. I'd love for you to pop a yes in the chat if you feel that this is what's happening to you, that you feel that you're in this same kind of drawn evolution. Alice likes to say that we can become more intelligent charioteers of our bodies and our lives. Who here wants to meet the challenges that ill health brings? Pop that a yes in the chat for that. With a greater level of intelligence, wisdom, and awareness. That way we can evolve beyond our conditioned limitations. You are not your mother, you are not your sister, you are not your auntie. You do not have to develop the health problems of your ancestors. Although this masterclass addresses one of the biggest challenges many women face, feeling or being overweight, watch as Alice helps you see the bigger picture. Weight gain is secondary to other factors that you can change. Imagine losing weight simply by becoming more healthy, not going to the gym, not counting calories, not starving yourself. On the contrary, Alice's way is about nurturing and nourishing, developing awe for your precious body, building self-respect and cultivating self-love. A passionate advocate for natural approaches to the challenges that ill health can bring, Alice's respect for the wisdom and intelligence inherent within us is delightfully contagious. Who's excited? I certainly am. If you don't already have a deep sense of trust in your body's ability to heal itself, you soon will. This will be an inspiring, uplifting, and empowering presentation. What Alice can share here in an hour is only a tiny piece of the knowledge and wisdom she has to share with the women who join her transformational program, The Exhaustion Solution. So here is Alice for you now.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for that epic introduction. And thank you for all of the women who have turned up on the call today. There's a whole bunch of you. And I just had messages from 4 women in the Gold Coast. So they're all unable to attend, which is a shame. If we could just send our love, just take a moment and send our love to all of the people who are having to clean up a big mess today. So hopefully we'll be able to send them the replay of this webinar because I've loved creating it. So it is true, we only have 1 hour today, yet I have so much more that I can share with you if you're inspired. I hope that you can stay, that we can stay connected after the call, and that way you'll have all the support that you need to turn your life around. This is the second in a series of online events that I'm creating for women, and they're all recorded. So after today's class, I'll email you the replay as soon as I can. That way you can share what you learned today with someone that you know, someone you love maybe, who needs support and a more loving and intelligent way to lose weight and get healthy. The first masterclass in this series was called Overcoming Overwhelm, and it was fantastic. So ask in the chat right now, and I'll forward you the recording of that class too. It was really great. And all that I create here is made to help women just like you. In fact, my care is always about you. And this masterclass is about you. It's about how you perceive yourself and your health situation. It's about your body, your patterns, your beliefs, and your potential. And not just your potential for getting thin, no. I've helped thousands of women reach their ideal weight, yet weight loss is never my primary focus, nor should it ever be your primary focus. I'm all about elevating your self-esteem and nourishing you to health and vitality. The end result will most likely be losing weight, and possibly a good deal. But really, what's needed is to be more loving, isn't it? And more intelligent about our approach, right? We actually need to discover and resolve the underlying drivers of the situation at hand. Who's with me on this? If you think that sounds better than starving yourself and counting calories or going flat out at the gym and literally punishing yourself to lose weight, just raise your hand in the chat. I'd love to see that you all know how to do that. Now today, we had a little issue with the co-hosting situation. So the chat's popping up on my screen. So every now and then I might get a little bit distracted, either letting someone into the call or attending to the chat, but I'll really do my best to stay focused. So, hey Lisa, thanks for raising your hand in the chat. Anyone else? Hey Tracy, do you want to just direct people how to do that?
Sorry, just unmuting. It was a bit sticky. So
Hey,
down the bottom of the screen, of your Zoom screen, there's reactions. If you hit reactions, it gives you a raise hand bar that you can just press. You can also, if you're feeling moved with your heart, you can just press on the heart and it'll show for a few seconds. Or if you want to celebrate or put your thumbs up, you can press on these. And the 3 dots to the right of that enable you to choose other ones. So to raise the hand, you just hit that, which I've done right now. And then down the bottom of the screen, it'll say that if you want to lower your hand again, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tracy. So just raise your hand in the chat now if you've tried to lose weight before but haven't been able to keep it off easily. For you, for all of you raising your hands now, you are going to find some solutions here. And if you, like so many of the women that I do help, have been feeling bad about yourself and in a spiral of negativity or even self-hatred, welcome. You are not alone. Maybe you're tired of being tired, Or maybe you're just feeling stuck or dissatisfied with how you look or unhappy about how you feel. I just want you to know that you're in the right place on this call today. And maybe you just aren't even struggling with weight at all. I know there are a couple of women who aren't struggling with taking weight off, but wanting to build up their weight. So, or to increase their weight. So you are also in the right place. Soon you'll be like more determined to make this year the year to get really inspired and activated. And in just under an hour, I'm going to say that I expect that you're going to be at least 100 times more empowered and ready to step up and make your health and happiness the primary focus of your life. That'd be good, right? We're often putting everyone else in the center and making them the primary focus. So, well, hold on. Yes, so someone's just messaging me there. So just because you turned up, you've actually already now gained a great ally in me and in the content of the Exhaustion Solution, which is my coaching program, which is just bloody beautiful. I love it. If I had all the money in the world, I would still be doing this coaching because it's just so great. I really, 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 really love it. And all of the people on the call today who have worked with me, I'm sure they will testify to the truth of that. Now, someone's got their microphone unmuted, so if you just want to check on that. Now, Tracy, while I just set up my screen sharing so that I can show you the slides, was there anything else that you wanted to add before we dive in? I think you wanted to talk a little bit about my chiropractic history. You could just do that for a moment while I set up my slides.
Yeah. I think somebody has got the iPhone 104. Can you please mute? Yeah, if you could mute that because we're getting some feedback through there. But I will continue to read. I've got something else I wanted to add. Okay, this is about you, Alice. Dr. Alice retired as a chiropractor because sometimes people want to know about her chiropractic. So I just wanted to add this bit as well. She retired as a chiropractor in 2020 and has since helped many women to awaken to the power within through her transformational program. And this is her mission. During her career, she has given well over 100,000 patient visits. I promise you it's true. She has helped at least 10,000 women to resolve their fatigue and fatigue-related health conditions. She has an encyclopedic knowledge of the human body and the nervous system, and she is both a geeky neuroscientist as well as a very spirited and spiritual woman. If you want to recover your health and vitality, her knowledge around how to regenerate the brain after periods of stress is essential. And I'm sure that you all agree that when somebody is a geek at something, it means that they are thorough with it. And the fact that Dr. Alice has treated over 100,000 patients, she is really gaining some knowledge on what is missing and what we need to hear in our own lives. So this is why it's her mission and why she's so passionate. And that's all I wanted to add for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Could someone maybe, Tracy, could you put a thumbs up if you can see the screen? It should say how to lose the last 5 to 10 kilos intelligently. And that's what this is all about. So just before we begin, I'd love to say a quick hello to everyone who's on the call today. And so I wanted to know how you're all feeling. If you could just pop a word in the chat, excited, I don't know, whatever it is that you're feeling, just pop that in there. And then I'll know how to meet you today with the way that I share this presentation. In the meantime, while you do that, I want to let you know that I'm actually really excited. Excited is something that I am quite a lot for all of those of you who know me. And I really enjoyed making this masterclass. I really do hope that it touches you and awakening a desire in you to be better and to grow more and to learn how your body works. And consider your ability to become a master of your mind, your body, and your life. This is so much more than weight loss. I hope to awaken the desire in you to drop into a state of awe more often. But truly, you are more miraculous than you know. And like Tracy shared, I was a chiropractor for 25 years. And dissatisfied with the limitations of government mandates, I retired during COVID. My chiropractic practice was all about optimizing my clients' neurology, as well as their cellular function, as well as improving their alignment, their diet, and their self-esteem. And now, without the restrictions of the representation body, I feel much more able to share exactly what it is that you need. And I'm finding that online learning situation even better than working one-on-one in my practice. I still help people with all those things, but in a different way, in a better way. And working online means that I can reach many more women, really different women, and women all over the world. So there's no need to make appointments for the women in my care because they can just message me at any time. I can call them back and answer their questions. And I love that. And that's just not possible in a clinic situation. So I only support women now, not men. I'm a women's natural healthcare expert, and I use a protocol that I share in my coaching program that's helped thousands of women, just like Tracy said. I support tired women to experience boundless energy by really getting healthy. Healthy mind, healthy attitude, healthy brain, and that's what today's all about, and therefore a healthy body is the outcome. So I guess you could write 1,000 answers to this question, but do you know what happens when we get healthy? The answer is our whole life changes. How we perceive ourselves and the reality in which we live, it all changes when we get well. And so it's really fun for me, and this is probably why I love coaching so much. I just get to see people transform their lives. We're going to have a chat with a couple of people whose lives have transformed for sure, I think, today. So I guess you could say that I help women to shine. Yeah? Would anyone want to agree with that? I do light them up. I up-regulate women's brain function, that's for sure, and their lives change to match their new limitless reality. You see, you can't learn about your body with me and not develop a deep sense of gratitude and wonder. Let's call it or is the goal. And when you realize how amazing your body is, you can't help but develop a really healthy respect for your body. This, what I call this extraordinary human vehicle. I dare say that all the women who learn and grow with me deepen their love for themselves. However, like I said, not all the women that I work with are overweight. Some need help to put weight on. Regardless, if you're underweight or if you're overweight, addressing balancing the metabolism is key. And understanding how stress messes everything up is essential. So I would say that I'm really like a modern version of Alice in Wonderland, and I would love today to take you on an adventure. Who's up for the ride? Because you can't go back. Once you know what I'm going to teach you, there's no going back. So let me just click on the next slide. How to lose the last 5 to 10 kilos. Like I said, this presentation is all about you. So when I move to a new screen, you needn't read ahead. It's really difficult to listen and read at the same time. So I'll be sure to read out all of the slides to you. The slides won't disappear until then. I can also send you the recording afterwards if you want to go back and take some more notes, but maybe you can just grab a pen and a paper and sit back and relax and enjoy. So what will you learn today? Firstly, there are real reasons why women struggle to lose the last few kilos, and I'll be sharing all of those. I'll share 5, and then I'll discuss 5 more towards the end. So I'll also make sure that you, just because you turned up today, receive an offer that I've never, ever, ever. It's kind of ridiculous. I've never offered before. So stay tuned. Now, what else will you learn? Well, I hope that you're going to realize in the next hour that you are not alone. You're not alone with your problems. You're not the only woman who faces the challenges that you've got going on, regardless of your diagnosis. And you're also not alone because now you have access to me as your ally. Lastly, I like to show you how to get the help that you need to up-regulate your system and keep the weight off. I want to introduce you to concepts about how to lose weight in a way that really honors this extraordinary intelligence of your body. I'll just admit someone else in. Welcome, Bieber. So allow me now to unshare the slides so that I can see you all. So let's see how well I go here. Yes, I did it. That's great. That just helps me to be able to see you, and then I feel like I can be with you more, if you know what I mean. So often women ask me this one kind of question, and the question is, can I really get well? Because I see women who've had like enormous histories and radically challenging diagnoses. And I've worked with women who weigh, 150 kilos plus. And I've worked with people who've been diagnosed with both types of diabetes and people who've had extreme sexual abuse, you name it, I've seen it in 30 years. So when they ask me that question, they're like, I'm fat, I'm unhappy, I've got no motivation, I've got no energy, can I really get well? The answer is yes. It is absolutely yes. I see things in my days, in my weeks, in my practice that many people would say are miraculous. I've seen people resolve autoimmune diseases that the doctors have told them they simply cannot resolve. So I just want to let you know, I'm going to share the screen again. I just had to practice doing that. And hopefully you'll be able to see the slides. And if that's you, if you're wondering, well, my health is not great, I really wonder if there's any hope for me, I just want to assure you that there is a heap of hope, and I have a heap of confidence in you and in this program. So there you go. So I'll just pop onto the next screen here. What I'd like to show you is how to go from thinking, behaving, and feeling overweight to realizing, establishing, and maintaining your perfect weight. The perfect weight for you, right? And this is what happens when we get more healthy. Now, I know that we're all different. We all have different ancestry. We have different genetics. We have different diagnoses, different daily activities, and we have different beliefs and different diets. But whatever size and shape you think you should be, your body will show you your ideal weight when you get healthy. The ultimate goal is health, right? Healthy women are beautiful and they have this natural radiance. And that is the goal. That radiance is the manifestation of good health. And that is what we're going for. Forget weighing yourself. Forget fitting into the clothes that you wore a few years ago. Just focus on re-establishing that healthy glow. I'd love to coach you to restore that radiance over the next 3 to 6 months. And the weight might well just fall off as well. You might like to start asking yourself a question, just even today and this week, you might like to ask yourself the question, every time you do something or you consume something, whether it's some water or it's a coffee or it's a piece of cake, whatever it is, or maybe it's something you're about to do, a yoga class or smoke a joint, whatever it is that you do that's you feel something about, I want you to ask yourself, will this thing I'm about to do or consume, will it be adding to my radiance, or will it make me look and feel more dull? Good idea? Let's take our focus away from weight, right? So this is the cycle that we need to break. This is the cycle of more. The biggest overarching reason why we can't lose weight is, drum roll, stress. Yeah. More stress equals more stress hormones. And this is a problem for our body, and it's also a really big problem for our brain because it drives brain cell death, yes, and inflammation. If you have a look at the right-hand side, if I can use my pointer, here we go. More stress equals more stress hormones, equals more inflammation, which equals more being sedentary.
And if we keep following that loop around, you'll see it leads to more stagnation, more depression, more negative self-talk, and probably more negative behaviors, like binging. And then what happens? The guilt and the shame, which creates more stress hormones. So there we are, we're on this loop. Do you have a pen? If you have a pen, maybe you might like to write this down. Just write the word stress so that you can have that as a take home. The biggest overarching reason why we can't lose weight is stress. And all 5, even 10 things that I'm going to be sharing with you today all create stress in the body. I'm sure this makes sense, but the science behind it, the neurobiology, is something that you definitely need to learn about if you want to have effective and permanent weight loss. Who wants that? I don't. I need to continue to put weight on, and to build up my muscles and to make sure that I have all of the energy available. We're all different. I did weigh 10 to 12 kilos more than I currently do. So I've been there and I know what that feels like. I was in a cycle of total self-hatred. And so I can really understand when I talk to women who've got similar challenges. So let's have a look at the neurobiology. It's definitely something that you want to learn about. The more stress that we experience, the more damage we cause to our brain. And this cycle drives more and more stress. Now, nothing works well when we're stressed, right? Not your digestion, probably not your relationships, not your brain function, or your waste elimination as your body tries to get rid of toxins. That doesn't work well when you're stressed. And probably the most important thing for you to understand today is that when you're stressed, it radically compromises your metabolism. Your metabolism is a system in your body that determines how much energy you have and how much weight you store. So is this making sense? Please just post in the chat, or I don't know, wave at me or something and let me know if it's making sense to you. Great. Oh, I'm getting thumbs up everywhere. Oh, I like this. I'm new to Skype. I'm new to these kinds of calls. So thanks for making it easy for me. So there is an off switch that turns the stress mechanism off inside you. When it works, we can effectively reset after stressful events. When it doesn't work, we stay stressed, and we can't easily lose weight when we're in fight or flight. So if you have a pen, maybe write that down. We can't easily lose weight when we're stressed. Now, the off switch to the stress mechanism is in your brain. It's in a part of the brain, sounds like a hippopotamus. It's called your hippocampus. Now, you don't really need to remember that so much, but I just want you to know that there is an off switch, okay? We just got to make sure that yours is working. Now, the off switch to the stress mechanism gets damaged, yes, brain cell death, by the stress hormone called cortisol. Unless we regenerate this important off switch in your brain, we stay stressed, even when the cause of our stress is being resolved. My approach to weight loss is focused on the regeneration of this part of your brain so that you can turn the stress mechanism off and balance your hormones and your metabolism naturally. That makes sense, right? So who here, raise your hand if you have a poor memory. Yeah, okay. So this cycle of stress and weight, everyone's sticking their hands up. This cycle of stress and weight gain is what we need to interrupt, right? We need a pattern interrupt here so that we're not cycling through all of this anymore. And I've helped tens of thousands of people do just this. All this is exciting because we're going to see some transformations for you just by changing the way you look at your health and your life and what the underlying causes are. Great. So I teach women to heal and regenerate their brains, and the end result is that Healthy radiance. Remember, that's where we're going to keep our focus. They have healthy radiance, more vitality, and they just easily, naturally lose weight. Balancing the energy system causes us to lose weight effortlessly or seemingly effortlessly. So heal your brain and achieve your goals. That's the gist of what I'll be sharing today. So, I'm just trying to click something. Here we go. Now, when we're overweight, we practice certain thoughts that grow from subconscious beliefs. And in order to transform our lives, we need to investigate and change those limiting beliefs. Did you know that these subconscious beliefs can be changed? I'd really love to help you with that. So I'm going to give you a moment now. Here are some of the underlying beliefs that I often help women to clear when they have challenges around weight. Have a little read and write down a few beliefs that you might have about your own weight. I'm actually going to give you 1 to 2 minutes now to just drop in and check in with some of the beliefs that you might well have. And after that, let's have a chat with some of the women on the call who've already experienced my care. This is going to add to my radiance, right? And if anyone's brave enough, this is a really safe space. You're really welcome to share on the chat if you've just suddenly realized that you have a belief that might be interfering with you having the body and the life and health that you want. It's interesting, isn't it? What we believe will determine our reality. And it's very exciting that we have lots of ways, one of which I'd really love to show you if we can do a clarity call together. It's something you can, I actually taught my niece how to do it this morning and yesterday. I'd love to be able to show you some ways to be able to clear these beliefs. And sometimes you need help from somebody else. There's an amazing woman on this call. Her name's Lisa Bartels, and she's an amazing theta healing, and she has an excellent way of clearing and pulling beliefs. So I'll just move on to the next screen now that we've just kind of got that you might have some beliefs that need to change. So I wanted to tell you a story about one of my clients. Her name is B. So B came to me 2 years ago and she lost a whopping 40 kilos in 6 months. 40 kilos in 6 months, and she still feels fantastic. So we had her avoid the foods in her diet that were most inflammatory. There were 2 foods. So all she had to do was change the consumption of 2 foods. And I helped her to rise early in the morning so that she could get a 20-minute cortisol walk. I also prescribed some herbs for estrogen elimination and liver function, and I put her on some probiotic foods as well. And we cleared the belief being fat keeps me safe. She was amazed when she realized she had this belief going on. And we also cleared the core belief underneath that, which is I'm not safe. And she turned her whole life around. The ulcer on her leg, which is as big as my fist, as big as her fist, which is bigger than mine, it resolved. It was a what do you call that? It was a diabetic lesion, a diabetic wound, and it healed. And she'd received an unknown number of antibiotics and over a year of unsuccessful weekly wound dressing at the hospital. So it only took about 16 weeks, 15 weeks for that wound to be completely healed over, which is amazing. She was blown away. She got happy, she got healthier, and she had enough energy to actually get off the pension, which is amazing because she'd been on that pension for so long. And she's now found work that she loves. Strangely for her, but not for me, her psoriasis also cleared up. And she was amazed because people started telling her that she was looking beautiful. And the reason this was so big for her was because she'd been obese since childhood and she couldn't remember anyone ever calling her beautiful. Gives me like chills and shivers up my body when I tell this story. So is there anyone on the call who's had a great experience in my care? You're welcome just to raise your hand and I'll help you to be able to share for a minute if you want to, so that the other people on this call can see that this work is fun and effective. Great. So Sarah's just raised her hand. I'm just going to click you on there. And can you unmute yourself, Sarah?
There we go.
Yay.
Hi. Yes, so I've been doing your program now. Well, I'm up to about week 8, but I've had some enormous shifts since when I first started. It was just simple things like adding in the walk, the water, the supplements. But recently, after healing my leaky gut, like I used to be on laxatives because of the medicine that I was taking, like for the last 20 years. I haven't had to use laxatives for weeks now. And my energy, after I go for the walk in the morning, I start doing things, I'm getting things done. It's a complete 180 turnaround to what I used to do, which was sit on the lounge and watch television. And I used to drink a lot. And without even trying to stop drinking, I've already cut down so much of it. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I never ever want someone to let go of their crutch. You know, and if drinking is your crutch, then keep drinking until you choose to drink less. And I think you're saving like $150 a week or something on alcohol. Is that right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
That's amazing. And have you actually lost weight?
Yes. Oh, yes. That was the other thing I meant to. I actually got to the point where I was scared of getting on the scales because even I was trying intermittent fasting and all these things. And then I didn't get on the scales. But the other day I was at my mother's place, and even after these past 8 or more, it's been a few more weeks, I actually got on the scales and I realized that I had lost at least 5 kilos.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
And I was too afraid to get on the scales before because I thought, oh, it won't be what I want it to say. And then, yes, it was amazing. And I really haven't been doing anything to lose weight. I've really just been adding in all these little things to get healthier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. Great. I'm so proud of you. I'm like amazed. I'm amazed at how well you're going. And 5 kilos in 8 weeks is really amazing and sustainable too. And I know because you're actually becoming more healthy, I know this weight's going to stay up. Yeah. And I love that you haven't had to, I'm just going to change screens down here. I love that you haven't had to like count calories or weigh yourself. I really discourage people from weighing themselves too much, or take any medications to lose weight. And I don't think you've been so overwhelmed either, have you? How's your stress levels?
No, my stress levels are so much better. I can see when I'm getting the stress response, and instead of, going for alcohol or something like that, I might take Lucy to the park or something. Yeah, just do some other things instead of relying on that crutch, like you said, that I rely on. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing. Is there anyone else on the call who maybe has experienced care with me that just wants to share for under a minute?
Yes, I will, Alice.
Oh, hello, Lisa.
Yes, hi. Is it okay if I talk now?
Perfect, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm on my phone, so I can't see everybody. But I've been doing Alice's program now for a few months as well, and as Alice said, I work with theta healing and, know how to, change beliefs and what have you. However, I found in my life that I put myself last with everything. And so I went to Alice and I saw her speak and was interested, and I'm doing her the exhaustion solution program, which is absolutely amazing. I could recommend that for anyone to do. I just with regard to weight loss, so I started doing Alice's suggestions, the morning walks. Alice through kinesiology suggested vitamins and different things that I needed to take. And one thing that I did that Alice suggested was no gluten and no dairy for 21 days. And I did that and I found it very easy to do. I was really surprised at how easy it was to follow that. One of the things that I loved in the part of doing that change was Alice's life-changing loaf, which I'm sure she'll talk about later. And I lost 5 kilos in 21 days. And I thought that was pretty awesome because it wasn't like hard work. It wasn't anything stressful. There was still plenty of food that I could eat. And it wasn't about the weight loss, really. It was a bit about weight loss, but more about just feeling better in myself. And so moving on from that, I'd lost another 2 kilos. And I had mentioned to Alice that I had fully planned to have a big blowout at Christmas, because Christmas is the time we celebrate and do all the wrong things and eat all the wrong foods, if you want to call it that, or maybe we should just relabel it enjoying ourselves. And to my surprise, I weighed myself this morning and I've only put on 1 kilo of the weight that I'd lost. Now, also, I just want to let you know that I really didn't have as big a blowout as what I would normally do at Christmas. And I found that just by, changing your mindset around what you eat, I am still, I was still making better choices with what I put into my body. And I think so once you reset your thinking and you actually enjoy, putting more nourishing foods in, it's so much easier to just continue the process. So I guess I'm probably over my minute, but that's all I'd like to share for now. It's been really amazing for me.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thanks for coming on the call and sharing that as well. I know you wanted to come on the call anyway. And speaking up. Yeah, that life-changing loaf, I'll talk about it in a minute. And I'm super proud of you as well, really. You've had all sorts of challenges and because you've been looking after yourself and doing all of the things that you know are good for you, you seem to be moving fairly well through the challenges that your family's given you this Christmas, right? So thank you so much for that. And I also wanted to say, when people have like this kind of splurge or whatever, like Christmas, I was all for everyone in the group to go and have a great Christmas. Just go eat, drink, be merry, be with your family, appreciate what you've got, appreciate the moment and enjoy. Because firstly, that's part of what it is to be part of a family, it's part of the celebration. And sometimes we feast, right? But it's interesting to notice too, when you feast, whether your belly gets more bloated or whether your brain works less well. And I have to say, I'm at my parents' house at the moment. They give me a bit of crap if I don't eat this or I don't eat that. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'll sleep in the tent. Let's eat the pasta, whatever. And I have to say that my brain isn't working nearly as well as it was. And my wrinkles are my skin is way less good just eating crappy food for a couple of weeks. So there you go. So I'll move on, but thank you for sharing. And I know that there's probably 4 or 5 other people in this call already who have experienced my care and might like to say something. There'll be an opportunity at the end if you'd like to. So let's get to it, hey? What are the 5 reasons that women can't lose the last few kilos? The first is toxicity. Many pesticides are actually fat soluble. So they spray them on the crop and in your body, they bind to fat. That means that once inside your body, if you can't eliminate these toxins, you'll soon store them in either your brain, bad idea, or in your fat cells, better idea. And this is how cellulite occurs. In your brain, these toxins destroy your brain cells permanently. We can't undo that. If you go out and you drink alcohol and you get so drunk you can't remember what happened, those brain cells, they're gone. Yep. We can regenerate the cells in the hippocampus. These are the cells where that off switch is for the stress mechanism, but we can't easily regenerate brain cells that are elsewhere in the brain that are destroyed by toxicity. You're all thinking, oh my God, how many times have I done that? And when toxins are stored in your fat cells, your body will not want to burn up those cells. I'm going to repeat that. Is everybody listening? When toxins are stored in your fat cells, your body will not want to burn up those cells for fuel. So the weight stays on. And remember, the main reason that we can't eliminate toxins is because we're stressed, right? The liver works much less well when we're consistently in a state of fight and flight. Just raise your hand if you don't know what that means, fight or flight. Essentially, it's when we're stressed. It's the physiological occurrences in the body. You know, when you want to stay and, you know, fight to the death to protect your family or run. There's also a state of freeze, which can happen as well. But your liver doesn't work very well when you're in a state of fight or flight. So you don't need to put your hand up here, but do any of you have a big belly? Yeah, it's often women's bellies that they want to get rid of. Well, if you have a big belly, you may also have a fatty liver, which can halve your ability to eliminate waste. So how do you know if you have a fatty liver? Well, you can't see your toes. So if you're standing on the scales or standing ready for the shower and you look down, you can't see your toes, chances are you have non-alcoholic fatty liver. So taking care of the liver and dealing with toxicity is a really important thing. Toxicity and the many causes of stress are key to resolve if you want to lose weight. All good? Great. So the second one is estrogen and plastics. So we make this hormone estrogen from cholesterol. And cholesterol is a fat. The liver is responsible for eliminating fat-soluble waste, including estrogen or estrogen. You can say either, and you can spell it O-E or just E. So estrogen increases stored fat. So when you have high levels of estrogen and you eat food, you're going to actually absorb and hold more of the fat that you ate in that meal than someone who has lower estrogen. Estrogen also increases stored fluid. So if you put your leg in the air and you press on it and little dints occur, that kind of edema is often caused by, well, it's caused by stored fluid or stored water. And I think that probably with regard to both Sarah and Lisa, some of the weight that you lost was fluid. Now, estrogen also increases anxiety. Imagine a breastfeeding mum. It's kind of intelligent for her to be slightly anxious, right? So that's what estrogen does. It also increases how much copper we absorb through our digestive system. And copper can displace zinc, and then we have issues with zinc. So estrogen also increases breast, belly, and hip size. And plastics and hormones used in agriculture act like estrogens. Maybe you've heard of this before. These are called xenoestrogens with an X, strangely. Now, xenoestrogens are hormone disruptors. We also call them endocrine disruptors. That just means hormone disruptors. They disrupt the balance and the ratios of our hormones. So soy is a xenoestrogen. Does anyone here drink soy milk? Yeah, maybe that's one thing that you can easily change. So plastics are also considered xenoestrogens, even the BPAs. BPA isn't necessarily safe. just because it's less bad than some of the other plastics. So here's something that many of you won't know. Myco, M-Y-C-O, mycoestrogens are substances that some molds and fungi produce. Is that new information for anyone? Interesting, huh? So sometimes we need to address mold exposure before a person can lose weight. And this is something we do first, right? It's something, it's something we do not do first. We do not do this first. Because, well, it really requires a healthcare practitioner to support you with this process. Killing mold in the body creates more waste for the liver to deal with. So we definitely don't clear it first, and we always need to get support to clear mold from the body. So there you go. Now, how do we decrease estrogen? Honestly, estrogen is a massive subject and one that we cover really extensively in my coaching program, so that you can balance your hormone production and support your liver to eliminate excess estrogen. So we reduce exposure and consumption of toxins. That's the first thing that we need to do to get rid of the surplus estrogen that's possibly making you feel fatter. We use activated B vitamins, zinc, magnesium, and vitamin C are also excellent. And we eat more fiber to help bind and eliminate used up estrogen. We also use some herbs, and we reduce exposure to mold and clear it. And we go for that early morning cortisol walk. So there you go. That's just some ideas for you. So I even have a few recipes that will help you. So we mentioned before this life-changing loaf. This is just the most amazing food. Hold on, my screen isn't complying. Here we go. The life-changing loaf is delicious. It's low GI. It has at least six different types of fiber in, and specifically these types of fiber bind estrogen. It also nourishes your gut microbiome, reduces gallbladder issues, and helps you make more enzymes so you can better digest the other food that you eat as well. And it's a great alternative to eating gluten. And I think it's responsible for the weight that you lost, Lisa. Just switching to the life-changing loaf is actually easy and really good. And then from then on, you sort of look at the fluffy bread and you don't really want it, do you? That was my experience. So I have a book that I've created, and it's full of recipes that actually heal you. The content of my coaching is sort of housed on an app. Yes, I made an app. I'm so clever. Seriously, tech. I'm really proud of myself. But everything is stored on this app, and there you'll find a book of recipes that actually heal and restore different body systems. So imagine eating yummy food that makes you more healthy and lose weight. How great is that? So I think we'll just pass on that because we've used up a little bit of time, but the life-changing loaf totally rocks. Now, the third reason that women don't lose weight is dehydration. Did you get the first one? Toxicity. And the second one, hormonal issues, estrogen, which is also a toxin and requires the liver to get rid of it. But the third one is dehydration. And I am not joking when I say that most people are slowly dying of dehydration. Let's all have a drink, shall we? So make sure that the water that you drink is filtered, right? That's very, very important. And think about your pot plants. You know, sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't look so good. And it's all because of water. Just like your pot plants, you need plenty of water. And when we are dehydrated, again, drum roll, we're in a state of stress. So we can't lose weight. You also look, just like the plant, you also look and feel dull and floppy when you're dehydrated. So I'm just going to skip a little section here and just show you, who knows how to recognize when you are dehydrated? One thing you'll notice is that when you wake up in the morning and you have your first pee of the day, your pee is very yellow. Catch it in a cup and have a look. And if it is yellow, you did not drink enough water yesterday. So by the time you've done 7 days of having clear pee, you will look and feel amazing. But if you grab your skin and you pinch it up like this, and then you let it go, if it stays there for a fraction of a second all pinched up and doesn't just retract quickly, you're currently dehydrated. I can see lots of people all pinching themselves. Hopefully you're hydrated. So let's move on to the next one. So number 4 is about sugar and carbohydrates. And there's a little balance guy there. It's all about balance, nothing more. You do not need to eliminate sugar, definitely not. You just need to make sure that you're getting a balance of the 3 macronutrients. How are you going? Should I continue? Are you okay? Is this too much information? Maybe give me a thumbs up if you're okay. And just calm down like that in the screen if you need me to slow down. Okay, perfect. And if you have a question, just hold it, because I'll stay at the end and I can answer all your questions at the end. So for those of you who aren't yet aware, everything that we eat gets turned into glucose, that's sugar, in the body. Processed food is very easy for your body to break down, and it turns into glucose very fast. Eating lower GI means eating more foods that convert to sugar slowly. They're generally denser and they're higher fat and higher protein foods. And when we eat low GI, we don't have the energy highs followed by such extreme energy lows. Think of red cordial in children. Cordial, candy, rice, pasta, it's all actually sugar. You can have a bowl of pasta or you can have a Mars bar. I would go the Mars bar. So it's often when we experience low blood sugars that we crave snacks. So eating low GI will help you to lose weight and will change the habits around eating as frequently as you need to. You know, when I give my kids eggs for breakfast, they don't need food until morning tea time. But if I give them rice bubbles, they're going to be cranky in the car on the way to school, and they're already going to be eating their play lunch. So where am I? This slide here is just a taster of what I can share with you about the importance of getting the ratio of the 3 macronutrients in balance. So what are those 3 macronutrients? Oils, we want to increase oils and fats. Protein, generally we'll want to increase protein and our ability to digest it. That's something else I'll teach you how to do. And also oils, protein, and carbohydrates. It's the carbohydrates that we want to reduce, right? Especially the light, fluffy ones. Now, if this ratio is consistently out of balance on your plate, you will be more inflamed. You'll also be more emotionally unstable, and you'll stay overweight. So I'd love to teach you all about that. Now, one really important thing, I can't have you go without learning this, and that is that not all fats make you fat. Some do, but many of the fats actually support weight loss. It is a crazy idea. It's like conflicting with everything we've ever learned, right? But good fats include coconut oil, which is like antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. It's totally life-enhancing and health-enhancing. You can eat as much coconut oil as you like and you will still lose weight. So sometimes I get people to have a spoon of it before they have their meal. Flax oil, hemp oil, these are all great oils. Avocado oil, you can even cook with that one. Raw olive oil, don't cook with that. Don't cook with olive oil. And organic macadamia oil is really good for the cerebellum and keeps us quite emotionally balanced as well. Evening primrose oil is another good oil. Now, when you go to a cafe and you buy that lovely piece of gluten-free, I don't know, cake, it's going to be packed full of hydrogenated oils. These are the oils that the food industry uses because they're cheap. But in some states of America, they've been absolutely, completely banned. That's how dangerous they are. So vegetable oils like canola oil, they aren't good for us, even though they have the word vegetable in front of them. These highly processed oils make us fat and inflamed. So there you go. If you didn't know that, and that's super important to know. Now we're up to number 5. So we had toxicity, we had estrogen, yeah, and then we had the balance of the oh gosh, I've got it all wrong there. The what was next? Toxicity, estrogen. Who can help me? What was the third one? Tracy.
Dehydration.
Yeah, you
Dehydration.
beat me. Yeah.
Right. And then the balance of the macronutrients, and now your gut microbiome. So the
So
fifth,
sugar and carbohydrates was number 4,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
yeah, it's about the balance of those of sugars, which is carbs, fats, and protein. Yeah. So the 5th reason that we sometimes can't lose weight has to do with your gut microbiome. Now, there are certain probiotic foods that you can include in your diet so that you can absorb and store less fat. What a radical idea. In fact, the microbiome also determines how much estrogen we make and store. The microbiome is amazing. My grandmother's generation, she would have had approximately 1,700 different types of bacteria alone in her microbiome in her gut. But children being born these days have as few as 300 different types of bacteria in their gut. I'm sure that's responsible for some of the learning challenges, etc., and the behavioural challenges that we see. So nurturing the microbiome is really important, regardless whether you're overweight or not. So the so-called bad bugs in your gut multiply when you feed them carbs and sugar. And these reduce the numbers of the good bacteria that keep you thin and healthy. And I'd love to teach you all about that in depth because it's quite a big subject. But the take home is that the poor balance of the bacteria and fungi equals changes in the storage of fat. So that was the 5th reason. That was the 5 reasons that we sometimes can't lose weight. And I'm going to bring it all together for you now. And before I finish, I'll summarize all 5 so that it really lands for you. And I'll also offer you a half price offer today so that you can receive coaching with me. So please stay tuned. So, and I'm going to also include 5 more reasons, really swiftly, but 5 more reasons to get you thinking about why women can't easily lose the weight. So we all seem to do just what other people do. Other people drink coffee, we drink coffee. You know, other people eat shit, we eat shit without thinking. However, I know that you can become a more intelligent charioteer of your mind and your body. And that's what the exhaustion solution is all about. Raise your hand if you think what I'm sharing is useful. Yes, I'd love to see you upregulate. So I have found in my 30 years of experience taking care of all of those clients is that for the women who have poor health and have weight to lose, they actually need support. So personally, I've spent over $100,000 on online education. So that's not my degrees, that's just my online education. $100,000. And very rarely did I find someone who actually cares delivering those programs. Does anyone resonate with that? Anyone spent money on programs and there's just no one there? You email them and maybe you get a response, maybe it's a week later, but you couldn't log in and you set that time aside and you needed help now, right? So this is how I'm different from everyone else out there offering help. Yeah. I only support a small number of women each year because my commitment is to be available to you. And I'm accessible via Messenger pretty much 9 to 5. And I'm there to guide and support you through a protocol that has helped, you know, like I said, more than 10,000 women just like you. So if you do need help, then I'm all yours. But my life wasn't always so great, honestly. And, you know, even now I have ups and I have downs, just like everyone else. I am the most authentic, the most real, and the most caring coach you will ever find. So my story is that 15 years ago, I had received diagnoses that would send some people to heaven, and not just one diagnosis, but a bunch of them all at the same time. And I was so unwell. I was newly single. My partner had gone interstate and sort of disappeared and on walkabout. And I had three little kids, three very little kids. And I was so unwell that there were many times where I would just cry all day or spend the whole day in bed. This one time I want to tell you about is probably, it was both the worst day of my life and the best day. But I would never at the time have thought that it could possibly have been the best day. Because I remember being on the floor in the kitchen and I was so tired. You can see on the screen here it says alone. I was fully alone. I didn't even tell my family what was going on, and I was so unwell for so long. My brain wasn't working. I wasn't nice. I was screaming if I had energy or crying. I looked totally emaciated, and I felt paranoid that people were looking at me on the street because I was so skinny. If I was able to get out, I was so tired I couldn't get up, and I was numb, and I was feeling shitty, totally shitty, diarrhea, the whole lot. The digestive system just messed up. So I remember sitting on the floor, and my daughter, she was 18 months old. No, she was 3. And she just asked me to make her some food, and I just burst into tears. Because I simply couldn't get up off the floor to help her. And my children were having to raise themselves. And I was really, really aware that I was harming them, not because I was hurting them, but because I was neglecting them, because I simply could not function. So, still energy there, right? They really needed me, and I knew that I was helping them. But this little girl, this little lady, she saved my life. Some of you might know Spirit. She looked like this at about this age, and she came over, and instead of being mad or instead of reprimanding me or anything, she just came and sat on my lap, and she just wiped away my tear. And she said, "That's okay, Mummy, I'll do it." And it was the worst moment because it was the moment that I realized that I was going to lose my children. I was either going to harm them beyond repair, or I was literally going to have them taken from me. And so I'm well educated. I would have thought I had heaps of resources, and I was completely messed up. So it was the worst day because it was an example of the lowest that I'd been, but it was the best day. It was the day that I decided that I had to get well. And I wonder when it'll happen for you, that you get to the point where you have to decide to get well. I really believe that the future that you've dreamed of is just there. It's just there waiting for you. And the sooner that you make that decision, the sooner that you can make that decision, the sooner that you can have, do, and be all that you've ever dreamed of. So 7 years later, fast forward, I'm super happy with my family life. I healed myself and all of my diagnoses, nothing left in my blood that's bad. I fully restored my vitality and my feminine radiance. I attracted a beautiful man into my life. We stayed together for 7 years, and he's still my best friend. I had the busiest chiropractic practice in Byron Bay, and I had 60 different doctors referring to me for fatigue-related issues. And I was healthy, and I was wealthy, and I was proud and successful, and I was able to take my daughter away to France for 6 weeks so that we could be together. But my ascent, it just began with that one really important moment, the moment that I decided to get well. So this is what I needed. I really needed this, but I was ashamed, and so I wasn't sharing what was going on for me. I didn't know who to ask for help. We didn't really have the internet, like we just didn't have access to stuff like this back then. But I climbed that mountain myself. And thankfully, you don't have to, because this is exactly what I can offer you. This helping hand, I'd love to take your hand and help you to get wherever it is that you want to go, just like Sarah's doing, just like Lisa's doing, and the other women on the call who haven't spoken yet. So please accept the opportunity to spend some time with me on a clarity call. Now, this is a free call. Tracy, could you just pop the link into the chat for that? And we can establish if your brain is damaged. And we can establish whether or not you're nearing a health crisis. And we can experiment with the process I mentioned earlier, which is a way to recognize your sabotages and fulsome beliefs, so that you can really step up and step forward and make yourself the most important person in your family. Now, children orbit around the mother usually. I don't mean to be sexist here, but it's just the nature of things. And when the parent, the mother, is out of balance, what happens to the children's orbit? It's messed up. They're all over the shop, and then mum's even crazier and crankier, right? When we put ourselves in the center, everything that we want and need falls into orbit in a beautiful way. So on this clarity call, we can clear some sabotages and some beliefs, and we can focus on your personal health problems and discover a way out for you. So I hope that you'll take my hand and join me. Here's the logo for the Exhaustion Solution. And yes, if you want to resolve your fatigue and any fatigue-related health conditions like obesity or insulin resistance or polycystic ovarian syndrome, pyroluria, endometriosis, the list goes on. It's essential to regenerate this crucial part of your brain. No amount of yoga is going to do that. There are steps that we need to take to regenerate that part of the brain. And that's why this work just works so bloody well. Sounds like hard work, right? But it's actually not. It's really fun. I'm sure these ladies will testify. Everything that we do in the Exhaustion Solution is fun. And I personally think it's fascinating. I hope that you do too. And it all makes you feel good. Now, I can't vouch for the science here, and I'm a geeky scientist, but this is just something someone said, right? And I liked it, so I'm going to use it. Scientists have recently discovered that it takes 400 repetitions of a new habit to create a strong new synapse in the brain so that you can change your behavior and thinking, right? 400 repetitions. Unless the learning is acquired through play. In this case, it only takes 10 to 20 repetitions. And that is one reason that the Exhaustion Solution protocol is so successful, is because it is fun. But I guess I could say that the Exhaustion Solution is the fun road to having less pain, more energy, more self-love. That's my focus. And a sense of self-mastery too. And the radiance that I talked about before, that's what we want to focus on, feeling more beautiful. But it's also the fun road to resolving illness, yeah, and to regaining your health, your fitness, your happiness. I'm heaps fitter since I've been teaching, by the way. Your happiness, it's a way of dealing, of learning about weight loss and sleeping better, because that's a really big thing. I might do my next masterclass on sleeping. And it's also a way to have happier kids. So if you have kids in your life, good idea to get well, because then you're role modeling too, aren't you? Hands up who here did not get role modeling for self-care as a kid. There's no, it just didn't happen. So I think the more we can role model all of this stuff to our children, I think they say if you can't see it, you can't be it. Is that right? So the Exhaustion Solution is 15 fun modules and 6 months of access to me, so you can just call me up pretty much anytime, and if I'm not with a client, I can answer your call and answer your question. And the information that you need to turn your whole life story around is all on my app. So you can have me in your pocket, even when you're not online, you've got no reception. The support, however, that I know that women need when they want to make massive changes to their life and their reality, that's right here. I am your support. I'm committed to exceeding your expectations. And recently I asked a bunch of women in my program if I had met their expectations. failed to meet their expectations or exceeded them, guess what? They all said that I'd exceeded their expectations. So thank you. So the focus, now you know, of the exhaustion solution is to regenerate the off switch to the stress mechanism in your brain. And the goal is to climb the ladder of good health, making one better decision at a time, which makes it really easy. The end result is like a deep self-respect, a sense of vitality and boundless energy, and vastly improved physical fitness without ever having to go to the gym. I effing hate the gym. Thankfully, the focus is health and it's not weight loss. So yet, as you know, one of the outcomes is most certainly going to be losing weight, but also increasing your muscle tone, because your muscles are the primary metabolic organ that help you to burn sugar. Yeah, so we want to increase our muscle tone as well. And we've got some super fun ways of doing that. And so what's going to happen is that natural feminine radiance, you know, that makes people look at you and makes women wonder, what's your magic trick? That is what we're going to develop. So in my care, you'll learn all about your hormones, what they do, how you make them, what can go wrong, and how your body eliminates them. This is a chart that I created here that teaches people how we convert our hormones, how we make them. It also shows us how heavy metals and nutrient deficiencies interfere with the process of building our hormones. So there you go. Oh, and let me tell you about my health assessment questionnaires. If you are not ready to dive straight into coaching with me, then you could just purchase this book of health questionnaires from me. And when you do begin your coaching, I'll take the money off from what you spent on these questionnaires, if that's the case. So just message me in the chat if you're interested, and I'll make sure that you get this book of health questionnaires. It's 100 pages. And this book of questionnaires helps you to discover what conditions you may already have or be at risk of developing. There are 20 health questionnaires for you to fill out in there, and the results will help you to get more clear about how to get well. You'll also gain knowledge about every single condition for which there is a questionnaire. It'll also show you the causes and some treatment solutions for that particular condition. So understanding what's going on for you will really help you to heal yourself naturally. So this is just kind of a visual image. This is kind of the energy of the exhaustion solution. You can expect to see the sunrise, and you can expect to be inspired, uplifted, and supported. We've got audios, we've got videos. So with the audios, you can just cook and listen at the same time, or drive and listen, which is really great because time's so precious. And there's 15, 20 to 30-minute entertaining videos filmed in spectacular locations all around Australia, full of yummy information about how to get well. So today, to start 2024, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to get 2 for 1. So if you'd like to be coached and supported by me in January, beginning in January, you can actually sponsor a friend for free. Now, I don't mind if you split the cost, yeah, but you can sponsor a friend to do this for free. And you can have a buddy to help you to learn and help you just to stay on track with your vision. So I've never, ever offered this before. So there are a few conditions. So Tracy, I know that you've just already put the link into the chat, haven't you, for having a clarity call with me. And if you'd like to get on a call with me, we can discuss all of that. So you got your hand raised up, Katrina. I love that.
Yeah, can I just ask something?
Yeah.
Unmute.
I went online to book a discovery call with you, but yeah, it says that all of January is not available. And then when I went to look into February, it didn't allow me to get in there.
Telling me that there's so much that I've had to organize to be able to make all of this work. I was on there yesterday.
Also, then secondly, I was wondering if anyone in this wanted. Yep.
I'll just attend to that first. I was on there yesterday and set up the availability. Was it just today that you checked, or was it another time?
Yeah, it was just then, and I think, yeah, Tracy just said the same thing in the chat box.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
if you'd like to book a
I'm just going to talk to Alice about it at the end of this. And
yeah. If
sorry,
you want to call, how about you send me a text message?
cutting in and out, Alice.
Oh, well, that's no good. Can you hear me now? If you'd like a call, then just send me a text message or post in the chat now that you'd like a call, and I'll call you back and make that happen, okay? Thank you for letting me know. That's the kind of question I'm glad that you asked, and I didn't put off till the end. Now, what was the second question?
Oh, it's cool that psychically got answered. It's all good.
Oh, very good. Okay, good. Just before I read this slide, was there anything that you wanted to share, Tracy? Because I know that you wanted to share something.
Oh, at the end, yes, I did want to. I did want to bring up with you that the booking it's not showing availability, but we'll sort that out as soon as this is over, and we'll open that up for people, I think. But if they can let us know, maybe in the chat, I'll write their names down and put, and maybe if you want to give me your email directly, so click in the chat on Tracy and give me your email directly so that it's not in the group. And I'll make sure that we get you in as soon as the booking is open for everyone. That's just a little bit of admin. Thank you. And what I wanted to add was this. Here was a little bit more about Alice that I just wanted to share with you guys. When Alice asked the wise women in her 6-month coaching program what they felt her genius to be, they responded with the following. Alice's genius is her lightness, her integrity, her devotion, and her ability to really care, so she can offer the support that exhausted women really need. No one thrives when they feel alone, and in Alice's care, you will feel held and be supported all of the way. Other women said that her genius is her ability to inspire. Others felt her magic is in her ability to transform sabotages and elevate everyone. Without doubt, her enthusiasm, her grounded assurance, her intuitive inquiry, and her effective communication make Alice a great educator and a pure-hearted leader. One woman said that she offers the quality of sovereign potential, that the atmosphere in the room when she is in one-on-one is electrically charged. If you are seeking to realize your limitlessness and your own boundless potential, you are in the right place right here today. Sharing her tried and tested protocol during almost 3 decades of clinical practice in Byron Bay, she gained her reputation as an authority on the resolution of fatigue and fatigue-related conditions. Her education was single-pointedly focused on integrative neuroimmunology. That means that what interests her most is unraveling issues that affect both the brain and the immune system. Very important in these challenging times. Absolutely. She also practices kinesiology, co-creative healing, and nutrigenomics. I never get that right, I'm so sorry. Nutrigenomics, literally causing people's bodies to switch healthy genes on. Now that there is like turning a switch in your body. So who wants that? This masterclass is a great opportunity to get a taste for her ability to transform your life, and hopefully we will be activated by some of her wisdom. I think we all know after watching this masterclass that this lady really knows what she's talking about. And if you wanted to email me, pop your email address directly to me in the chat, then I will make sure that you get an email straight after this with the link is open and you can go ahead and book. And I'm really excited to have you join. This is going to be amazing. This will be your year of transformation.
Tracy, you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. You're just like icing on the cake. So I'll just breeze through this because I don't want to make this a salesy call. I just want to inspire as many women as I can to come and, upregulate their lives and their bodies. But I just wanted to share that working with me also includes 4 2-hour appointments with me, either with me personally, because I do come down to Byron Bay and I do travel to Victoria as well, or on Zoom. So there goes $1,000 of value right there already. So the ultimate goal is just to realize that we can become masters of our own minds and our own bodies, right? I'm sure you'd like that. So the reins now, they're in your hands. If you're ready to get the help that you need, I'm all yours. So if I can do it, here's my daughter, 15 years later, my beautiful, wild, independent daughter. If we can do it, if I can do it, we can all do it, honestly. And there's a little testimonial here. Alice is like a magician, blah, blah, blah. She's fabulous. Thank you so much, Amy Pelluccetti. I believe you're on the call as well today. I'm not going to read that one out. I think you all got the idea. What I'd like to address, however, is that if you're worried about how much time it takes to be coached by me, it can take as little as you like or as much as you like. So I would say that about 2 hours a week of listening and watching videos. And for 15 weeks, we work quite hard. I remember Sarah saying that she's up to week 8, but she's been traveling with me probably now for 12 weeks. So I'm available for you for 6 months. But anything that you need, any question that you have, to have a health expert available to you is, I think it's invaluable. So yeah, about 2 hours a week. And we also have a Facebook page and a messenger group and all this other stuff, which I'm constantly posting goodies on. So you might end up discovering that it's kind of your pleasure time as well, learning with me. And don't let money stop you from getting well. One woman I was helping was eating breakfast and lunch in a cafe every day. She's spending $50 a day on cafe food. And that now she's saving $350 a week just because she's eating differently and she's lost weight as well. And Sarah, hope you don't mind me pointing to you again, Sarah, she's saving $8,000 a year on alcohol and saving her own life as well. So even if you drink coffee, that's $2,500 a year if you have one coffee a day. And that's not even an almond milk coffee. So there you go. Here's the summary of our 5 reasons. We have toxicity. Who knows now some ways that they can manage toxicity? Who's got some ideas about things that they can do? Yeah, good. Estrogen elimination. We need to take care of our liver and avoid those xenoestrogens. Dehydration. We can solve that problem immediately. Remember to check your pee and to pinch your skin. And also think about the balance of what's on your plate, Is it mostly carbs like pasta? Or is it got no carbs? Or is it got plenty of good fats? Did you know even, and I'd love to teach you about this, that the order of the food that you eat determines how much weight you put on. So you can eat your carbs first and put more weight on, or you can eat something else first and reduce weight. They did a study with people eating the same food in different order, and there's heaps in there I'd love to share with you. So lastly, the health of the microbiome, important, right? Probiotic foods. So this little picture here, can you see it? Is all of the drivers of cortisol dysregulation. It's a chart that I made up. It helps people to address all of those things. Now, I think there are 15 of them there. I can't quite read it from where I am here, but we just talked about 3, 4 of them. So other important reasons why you might not have been able to achieve your goals with regard to weight is that you hadn't learned how important stress is for weight loss, right? That wasn't one of my 5, but I'm adding it in here. So the next thing is perhaps you are focusing on the wrong things for your weight loss, like weighing yourself or punishing yourself or depriving yourself or counting calories. So that might be a reason why you haven't lost your weight as well. And maybe you hadn't decided. You hadn't realized what your why was. I have to get well because ... And I'm sure you all have one, whether it's a health ailment or it's like for me, looking after my children. We all have a why, and I would love to help you discover your why, because that will be the most potent motivator that you could ever have. I had pictures of my daughter put up all around my house to remind me why I was eating well, why I was bothering to cook, why I was doing the things that I was to get well. So there you go. And maybe you haven't resolved your sabotages or your negative beliefs. So let's do that.
Alice, look, I'm at the end of the call, and I just wanted to say, like, for everybody that's on the call, it will be the best money that you've ever spent in your life, because there's lots of things we do for ourselves. So you might do yoga, or you might have whatever healing session, but if your body and your mental health, your body's health, you know, the nutrition, how we treat our bodies, if we haven't got that right, the other things are not going to fix it. And Alice is, I have found, as I said, best money I've ever spent. Alice is absolutely awe-inspiring. She is always a wealth of information. She's authentic. Her energy is boundless, and she always has time for you. And that's, I really love that of you, Alice. Like, you are so caring. You are just there for everybody that needs it. And I think for women, you know, in this day and age, it's lovely to have someone like you that is there to help, you know, the women of the world, not just Australia. So I just wanted to really put a recommendation in that if you really want to put yourself forward, put yourself first, value yourself, then spend this money and do this course, because it has been absolutely awesome for me to do this. And I know you won't know about the stress in my family life, but it's very triggering, and it's not me, it's around me. So I just have found this invaluable to build me up, keep me strong, keep me moving forward, heal my body to wellness through Alice's recommendations and work, you know, the food input, the vitamins, the kinesiology, the videos, the exhaustion solution. It is amazing, and I just wanted to put in that big thumbs up and yes, do it for yourself. So sorry if I took too long, but I wanted to share that.
No, sorry. No, I didn't ask Lisa to do that.
No.
That just comes from her own love. I so genuinely love every single woman that I take care of. So thank you for turning up. Thank you for your time today. And if you know someone who you think I could help, please help me to be able to help them. I love you all. Thank you for your time. Tracy, you're such a blessing. If anyone has any family trauma that they need clearing, Tracy's the one. If anyone has beliefs and sabotages that they want to work on and they're not already in the exhaustion solution, then by all means, please contact me and I'll put you in touch with Lisa, because she is a teacher of this stuff. She is the goods. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. And if you've got any questions, I'm just going to stay on here, but I will end the recording now, if that's all right with everybody.
Thank you so much for your time. That was wonderful.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on the call, Kobe. I'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
Alice. Okay, bye.
It's good to see you on the call. Do you want to unmute and say hello? Hi, Beaver.
Hi. I had to find the unmute button. Hi, that was absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that I could attend, and I will be in touch. Unfortunately, I've got another Zoom meeting that I'm probably just a couple of minutes late. Oh, you wouldn't believe it, all at once.
I'm sorry if I made you run late.
Oh, no. I wouldn't have left for anything. I wanted to hear every word. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. You've been very informative. So really, thank you. Thank you for doing this. And I will be in touch with you very soon. I'll book one of those calls.
Excellent. That's great. Hey, Bieber, I wasn't able to see your face during this call. I only had 5 people or 4 people up on the screen, so I didn't know if I was sharing with, there's actually quite a lot of people on this call. And Amy, hello, darling. Thank you for coming on this call. I love you.
Me and Bobby are here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
No, I can't see you. I just see your slides.
Beautiful. All right, well, everyone have a great day. Hi, Tina. There are more people than I can say hello to. I'm just going to stay on the call, but I'm just going to stop the record if I can work out how to do that. I might need to be coached how to do that. Big love to all of you. I'll get in tech land for a minute and have a great day.